So a game that had indeed everything. Arsenal Football Club getting off their season. Edin Ketia scoring their first goal of the season. Bukayo Saka taking off exactly where he left off last campaign. Taiwo Awoniyi, he was an injury doubt for this game, and that's why he did not start. He climbed off the bench, did really well, got the goal for them. Top scorer for Nottingham Forest last campaign. Coach, the debate around Arsenal has been that once again, they were dominant for a long spell and then they slipped out of it for almost 20 minutes. If you want to win a championship, that is not how you go about your business.
I think that is too early for that. You see, it is too early for people to now to conclude that because of what happened in that last 20 minutes, they may not be able
most
to
people say that is sort of how they ended the last campaign.
Exactly.
And it's creeping into the start of their season. I don't know if you think it's too early.
I think it's too early for that. Look, having said that, you want to give credit to Nottingham Forest themselves because, look, they were in the game. If you look at the 2 goals that Arsenal scored,
yep,
they were not goals presented to them on the silver platter.
Yeah.
Arsenal actually worked and they scored those goals. Look at Saka's goal, even the first goal. Look at it was proper
the
technical ability of Martinelli.
Yeah.
No coach will teach you that, isn't it? It's the player's own doing that created the opportunity for Nketiah to put it away. Now, I saw so many beautiful things that Arsenal did yesterday, especially with our own Thomas Partey. We did the game on radio and we argued whether he would play as a right back. I was so skeptical that, look, it would be shocking to me if he sits there as a permanent full back and just go this way and not come into the middle. So formation-wise, he started as a right back. But when the game got going and tactics begin to show itself, we saw him move into midfield and more or less dictated the tempo of the game. And Arsenal, they were brilliant. My only worry was the fact that, you see, it is good to play very high up the pitch. But when in time you do that, the moment you lose the ball and your players are not pressing the ball, those guys at the back will have to what? Backpedal a bit. In other words, you have to do that to delay the opponent from getting at your goal a bit early. They didn't do that. And for me, again, Odegaard, Havertz, I think Mikel Arteta will have to find a permanent role for Havertz. Because look, he looks confused on the day.
They look like they are just accommodating him.
Exactly. They just, you spend £65 million on him. If I'm the owner, he has to play. If you don't play him after asking me to spend £65 million, if it doesn't work out, you're out of the door. So I'm sure that if you look at Havertz and look at Trossard, who should be playing in that role if Arsenal really want to have a proper number 10, decoy number 10 in the diamond formation alongside all that? I think Trossard would be a better option than Havertz. So there were moments in the game where he tended to cut into the path of Odegaard and force Odegaard to come back and do things that he wouldn't do on a normal day if he was not there. So Mikel Arteta will have to figure that out. And again, defensively, we don't know what has happened to Timber.
Yep.
You remember?
Yep. He had to leave the game prematurely. It looked like a pretty serious
injury. And for him to have been taken off the way it happened, something might have happened to him, which could go, because right now,
it looked like a knee in the back of his knee.
And that
somebody hit him in the back of it.
That could be serious. They are trying to let go of Tierney, something that I completely disagree with.
Yeah, this is a light squad.
It's a light squad, right? So you need depth in terms of quality. But look, it's the first game of the season.
Yeah.
All you need is to register the 3 points. Go ask Liverpool and Chelsea today.
If they wouldn't have
they would have taken that all day. My Manchester United play tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't care. At the end of the day, the only thing I care about is that the 3 points is in the bag, because you don't want to give Pep Guardiola any form of early advantage. You don't want to be playing catch up to him. No. The moment he senses that he's taking a healthy lead, catching these guys with the experience they've got will be so much difficult. And I think Arsenal is one of the teams. In fact, I tip Arsenal and Manchester United to be Man City closest challengers for this season. Hopefully, if Liverpool can sort out that midfield combo, get a proper DM, then you have to look, because from what we'll come to their game, from what we saw Van Dijk and Konate this afternoon, I think, look, they have a long, long way to go to pose a challenge to Man City.
The transfer window is open. That's the good part. Yeah, stick to Nottingham Forest for me. They did something that coach talked about. Now on the break they were really dangerous. In the first 10 minutes they could have scored. Brendan Johnson was wasteful, couldn't round the goalkeeper. He didn't seem to know what to do in a one-on-one situation. Awoni came on and showed that perhaps if he had started the game and was fit, Arsenal could have probably paid for it. But what are the realistic expectations for Forest? I mean, having seen how they finished the last campaign, can they kick on from there, make it probably a mid-table type of finish, or would they probably have to add players to their current setup to do that?
Yeah, I think they would have to add players to their current setup, especially the goalkeeper. Martena is a fine goalkeeper, but what he showed yesterday or on Saturday, he didn't show much in terms of confident play. I think he was jittery on a lot of occasions, and I wish they can go back to PSG and make that move for Keylor Navas permanent. Because last season, honestly, he was one of the
huge
best
for them in their quest to stay in the league.
He was one of the best players in the EPL in terms of late pickups, late buys, and for me, he brings that experience and that calming effect at the back, and that is what they need, because they will go into a lot of games where they will be under a lot of pressure, and though they will face teams that are mid-table teams, but those teams have very, very good attacking lineups. You look at the likes of Brentford, you look at the likes of Fulham, you look at the likes of even Aston Villa. Those teams have very good attacking lineups, and so their defense will be under a lot of pressure, and you need that goalkeeper behind that defensive line to bring that calming effect to the team. And for me, I think they are realistically they will stay in the league, but I don't see them kicking on from where they left off last season.
Relegation threatened season again. I don't think they are getting another goalkeeper aside Turner, because they spent quite the amount on him.
No,
plus he's US #1.
Yeah, I think they are talking to Manchester United for Dean Henderson.
Dean Henderson
and then maybe on loan and then obligation to buy.
Well, he's been there one season already, so he's pretty familiar with the setup as things stand. Talking about goalkeepers, there's been quite a number of changes with a lot of teams and their goalkeepers. Remember, United and Onana have a new relationship. We'll see Onana in action tomorrow, hopefully for the first time. Chelsea had Robert Sanchez in post today. Really interesting goalkeeper. They say that they are going to start a search for a new goalkeeper as well. And so there's a lot going on as far as the men between the sticks are concerned. Let's take our first break here. When we come back, we'll get into some messages. We'll get into more highlights. There's more from the Premier League. Stay tuned to Scorecard.